9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Back with another edition of North American Harness Update. I'm your hoster with the moster, Rod Allums Jr., joined right over there by Mike Prebozy. What up, Mike?
What up?
I asked you first.
What a Woodbine.
So we've got a huge night planned for you tonight. Lots and lots and lots of racing going on. Big weekend all over the place, from the Midwest to Canada to the East Coast at the Meadowlands tonight. We've got all the stakes races for tomorrow night at Woodbine Mohawk Park, including the $1 million North America Cup. We've got picks for that. We've got the All Stakes Pick 4, which is a $100,000 guarantee there for tomorrow night, starting in race number 9. We got some tickets for you there. We've got the Meadowlands Pick 4 live on the show, which we're going to give out. Running Aces tomorrow night. We've got race number 7, which is a $20,000 open trot, the Trout Air Trot. We've got Running Aces Sunday late pick 4, which covers races 8 through 11. And that's for Sunday night. So without further ado, we've got a ton of stuff to get through. Mike, I know you like this card tomorrow night at Mohawk. We're going to start it early. We're going to go right into it because we've got a lot of races to cover. And starting with race number 2 tomorrow night, as I get my program ready again. That is the it's Consolation, right? Yes.
Yeah, it's an NA Cup Consolation.
North America Cup Consolation for $75,000. This is a short field, actually. Field of 6 here. And I thought this race was pretty wide open for the short field. Do you agree with that, Mike?
Not necessarily. I do think that this 6 is the horse to beat. If you watch that race, that elimination last time with Better's Wish, and this horse was in the 9 hole. Filion blasted right off the gate. Now, the line doesn't look like that because he had to take back half the field blasted, and he really had no chance to get anywhere from the 9 hole. But this horse's nose was right on the gate. Prior to that race, he was dominant in, the gold on the 25th of May. June 1st at some beach somewhere, prep kind of stake race, was 1-9 in that race. Now, when the big boy showed up and he sort of had a tough post, I think he would have made the final with a better post. This short field helps him. Some of these other ones are just not up to him, I don't think, right now. Like Bronx Silster, I've completely given up on him. I've picked him 3 weeks in a row, and honestly, he just can't get away from the gate right now. He can't leave. He's stuck in last all the time. He's not really making moves. He hasn't really progressed from 2 to 3. Caviar at Rockland is very pace and trip dependent, and I think he's a bit second rate compared to some of these other ones. So I feel like it's a 6 horse race to lose. I'll try the 4 underneath, but I probably wouldn't bet a whole lot in the race. I'd be curious to see what kind of odds you get on the 6.
I think the morning line odds are fairly accurate. You're probably going to get about 2 to 1. But the horse I like is the 1 Air Force Hanover. He draws the rail. He's got early speed. And, he just didn't fire last week. He was just, so-so. I think you're going to see him be aggressive again. And he's going to get a nice 2-hole trip, I think, behind Century Pharaoh, which makes him a big win threat. If he gets to the lead, he's also going to be a threat because he's going to back down the pace if he ends up on the front. But
he won't beat the 6 to the front. At least I don't think so. I don't see him beating the 6 to the front.
Well, either way, he's going to be on the front or in the 2-hole, and I think he's got a big shot from there if he can get the trip and work it out the right way. But, the short field definitely helps his chances. So I'm on the 1, you're on the 6 there. How about we move on to a final? The Good Times final, 3-year-old open trot. This is the third largest purse, or the second largest purse leading up to the Hambletonian that goes for $1 million, which we will be at, and we're going to be at the second largest purse for the 3-year-old trotters, the Earl Beal final at Pocono here in 2 weeks. So make sure you check out that show. That's going to be the first 3-wide show of the season at Pocono for the Beal. Here, again, this race going for $247,000, and you got a field of 10 here. This is pretty wide open. I love the 3-year-old trot division this year. I think there's several right now that are contenders. Mike, start us off in this race. Tell us what you like and why.
Well, I know that I'm a little chalky in the race, but I like Pilot Discretion quite a bit. I played this horse in the futures for the Hambo. I just feel like that he's the one that's really coming into his own right now. He's never lost. That elimination was dominance from start to finish. Never really looked like a loser. He was, straight the entire way. Really, he never had to even ask the horse. He is, I think, the one that they have to catch. He's going to probably make an early move and, say, okay, Swandre the Giant, okay, Forbidden Trade, come and catch me. And I really think that, he is the one to beat. That being said, Forbidden Trade is a threat to him because he has, I think, improved. He has the right connections. That was a huge race last time, catching Swandre the Giant. He really had no business catching him, but he kicked 26 and 3. The thing is, though, he's going to have a lot more to do, I think, in this race. McClure sticks, so I think those are the two. And then the 3, I think, or not the 3, but the 5 is interesting. Super Shizzle. This horse had the 10-hole last time, no shot. Prior to that, got a prep at the Meadowlands and finished third. This horse is going to sit and probably make one run, but, with the 2 in the race, who is, obviously going to be on the front, the 3 and the 4 mixing it up early. The 5 has a chance, I think, from off the pace at a decent price. So I would be 3, 4, 5 in the race.
We're sort of on the same page here. I mean, Pilot Discretion is obvious. Like you said, he's never lost a race yet, and eventually he's going to have to lose something. But he's shown, especially after last week's performance, that he is one of the top 3-year-old contenders for the Hambletonian and for this race in particular. I mean, dominant effort, making 3 moves to win last time, but Forbidden Trade, big late kick last time. He did get a good trip, but he has to be respected again. He's in a good spot. The only other one that I like as a good price play going outside to the 8 Southwind Avenger, who raced good in his elimination, made 2 moves. He left, tucked in, and then re-pulled around the last turn, finished second to Pilot Discretion. I think he should have a little bit more for Nifty Norman late in this race. And, the only downfall here is the post with the best horses staying inside of him in this race. So, if they go to war early on between those 3 favorites on the inside, I think this is going to be the benefactor of the trip, getting drug up with some cover, because I don't think he's going to fire from out there. So
I'm not sure he could win the race, though. I mean, he's sort of camera shy. I mean, he won 2 out of 11 last year, but he had, 7 additional shares, which made him a lot of money. Those first 2 wins this year, that Nomers a 3 and that Flamborough Gold were both pretty much layups. I mean, those are overnight types that he beat in those races. This is way, way tougher. And last time he had every chance to make an impression on the winner and never really did. So now he has a worse post. I just really feel like he needs a setup to get any bit of it, and I don't think he's a win threat.
Well, I think he's got a shot if they go quick up front. That's really the key factor here.
Okay, all right.
With a lot of early speed inside, so we'll have to see about that. But the one thing that we haven't told you yet, Ray Catolo will be joining us from Woodbine Mohawk Park momentarily whenever he gets back on. He was just doing race analysis up there. So we're looking for him to jump on, possibly get us an interview with somebody up there that's racing currently. But before we jump into the next final, which is the Armbo Flight Final, what do you think of this card tomorrow, Mike? The overall card. There's 15 races, by the way.
Yeah, 15 races, tons of stakes. The overnight races are loaded with full fields. It's excellent racing. I mean, it's the best card I think of the year so far. You have 3 pick fours that you can take a swing at. 2 of them I think are very good. One is a little iffy, but there's really no lack of action. I can tell you that. And the races are competitive, especially the overnight races. Some of the stakes I think could be a little chalky, but that's all the time. So. I think that you need to be in front of your television. That's my thought. Or at the racetrack.
Yeah, I would love to be at the racetrack, but I needed a weekend. Just one weekend, that's all I needed. So I stayed home this weekend. Ray made the trip up there. He's on site right now as we speak. Repping. But, the one good thing is, like with London, I was at London for the Cam Luck. Ray's up at Mohawk for the North America Cup tomorrow night. And Mike, you're going to be going everywhere all summer.
Right. So we'll have a presence at all these big races now. So, like the Beal, the Hambo, the Pace, Hoosier wants us to go. Breeders' Crown.
Oh, speaking of that, so leading up, I can't remember. Do you remember the dates for the final future pool for the Hamiltonian?
Oh, look.
I believe it's like the beginning of July. But the Hambo final is the first Saturday in August, as it always is. But the future pool, the last pool, attracted just under $8,000. It's win betting only. And we mentioned this before. If you feel a horse is coming into his own, these future pools will get you good value on some horses. So you got to play. What did you get on? You said you played Pilot Discretion in the last pool, right?
I think I got like 13, like 12 or 13.
So you got 13 to 1 on a horse that, if he keeps going on this pace, is going to be the favorite in the Hamiltonian.
Well, I don't know if he'll be the favorite, but I mean, he'll be some value, I think. I'm trying to find the last one, but it's the third wager will open Friday, July 5th at 11 a.m. through Sunday, July 7th. So it's about 3 weeks away.
Yeah, so we've got a little bit of time, so make sure you're watching these 3-year-old trot races, because leading up to that third pool, there's this race. Next week is the Beal Prep at Pocono, and then the final the following week. So all these horses are going to be racing in these big races leading up to that third future pool. Well, we got a minute. Shout out to some people watching right now. Missy Perbosi, Mike Steele, Ian Albrecht, Linda Hayes watching. My son Aaron watching. Aunt Tracy watching. Tyler Benson watching. Huh?
Cousin Daryl watching.
Yeah. Cousin Eddie, he's in there somewhere. But the next race we're going to talk about is for tomorrow night, Woodbine Mohawk Park, race number 6, the Armbro Flight Final for filly and mare trotters, aged trotting mares, $256,000. The preps, the eliminations for this final saw literally 2 Canadian records broken last week in consecutive heats. Atlanta was the first to break the Canadian record, 151 flat, winning by 7.5 lengths. And Hannelore Hanover was next in 150 and 3. So she broke Atlanta's record later in the card. These two square off in the final. Yannick Gingras, the driver of both of those mares, decided to take Atlanta. with Hannelore Hanover being in post 3. I think it's one of these two horses. Which one are you taking, Mike? Or are you going to take somebody else?
No, I think it's Hannelore really because it's okay. So Jingra took Atlanta, but she's 4 years old. Okay, so Hanneleore's sort of at the end of her line here, and he's made $3 million with the horse, and it's you can't really blame him for going with the younger version of her right now because they're both equally as good, but I just feel like Hannelore likes this racetrack for starters. She woke up last time with probably her best race within the last, I would say, year or so. I mean, that was how good she was. That's how good she looked. And now, I feel like, is going to get the front and dominate again. And Atlanta's going to be left to chase her around the racetrack. Can she catch her? I don't know. I mean, I would be more willing to take that 8-5 on Hannelore than 3-5 on Atlanta because that's the way it's going to be. If those two get crazy, then you can't really discount Emoticon, who is always right there with these horses all the time, and she's got the 10-hole. She's got McClure back. She can sit and make one move. She doesn't have to get involved early, even though that's the way she usually. But she can sit back and make that one move. She's capable, and she's probably going to be ignored from that 10-hole. You're going to get 10-1, 12-1, 15-1 maybe. She might be worth a flyer. The other horse I liked underneath was a 2, Westland Dancer, who I thought was very good last time from the 7-hole. Made up a ton of ground, kicked 26-2. This horse was closing at Yonkers and, closing on the smaller tracks from against it. Has faced Atlanta this year and raced well. Has been facing some of the better ones. You get Dave Miller back, you're going to get a monster price. This horse could get second or third in the race, depending on how it goes. So I think that I would play around with her, maybe with underneath, if you're going to bet the race. But I'm 3-4 all the way.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Hannelore, being the class of this field, she's extremely tough, and I don't care who's driving her. She's got extreme heart. She was last week well in hand. She could have went even more, Yannick said after the race. Same with Atlanta. Both of them were just drawn away and under death grip at the wire. So I think you can go either way here and not lose money. But the Exacta is a bad play, if you ask me. I agree, though. The 2 Westland Dancer should be in striking range. She's been in very good form. Closed in 26-2 last time from way out of it. She just has to be closer, and she should be with the post improvement. So I think she's got a shot to hit the ticket at a big price. And by the way, we haven't mentioned yet that Plunge Blue Chip, the 9, is scratched out of this race, and the also eligible Dream Together will draw into post 9. So that is noteworthy here in case you're going to play the race, especially if you're playing exotics in the race, exactas, tries, and superfectas. But the other one, Emoticon, I agree. She's always right there against these. She's an extremely tough mare, and she was very good all last season. Last week, she wasn't quite as good, but she still raced well. Kicked home well. She just kind of sat there and went for the ride, I think. But post 10, she's got to be firing early and looking to get close. But another price play, I think, underneath that should be, within range is the 7 Highland Top Hill. Now, this one last time just sat there, didn't make a move, basically just made the final and trotted home in 27 seconds flat, which was pretty good since the race came home in 26-4. Do I think she can win this race? Absolutely not. But if you're playing tries and supers, I would throw her on for 3rd and 4th because I think as long as they go some halfway decent fractions up front, which they really should in this race going for this type of money, she should be coming late, and she's had good enough last quarters that she can finish with anything in here, come home with anything in here if she gets the right setup. So I'm going to throw her on for like 3rd and 4th, playing tries and supers, just looking for a big price to make the exotics better. Plus, a full field of 10, these 20-cent supers tend to pay pretty well. But the next race, you skip a couple races here. Race 7 and 8 are just overnight races. And you start the $100,000 guaranteed all stakes pick 4. Now those, Mike, explain to the people that are watching that aren't sure what we're talking about when we say pick 4. What is a pick 4?
Okay, so you have to pick the winner of 4 consecutive races before the first race begins. So, you have, races 9, 10, 11, 12. You can play as many combinations as you'd like, and you just have to have the winner of 4 consecutive races to win. So, typically I'll post these tickets on the website, NAHUpicks.com. Extremely popular. They guarantee the pool at $100,000. On this night, it's usually, upwards of 120, 130, for the big stakes, pick 4. But there's 3 pick 4s on the night. One starts in race 4, one starts in race 9, one starts in race 12 tomorrow. So, and the pick 5 will be probably 150,000 or more, I would think. That starts in race 1.
Yeah, the only difference between a pick 3, pick 4, and pick 5 are how many races you have to put into your ticket. So, right. Like Mike said, with the pick 4, you're just trying to pick the winner of 4 consecutive races, and it's a 20-cent minimum bet. So you can pick one horse in these 4 races, and it costs you 20 cents. If you hit, who knows what the payoff could be? You don't know until they show the payoffs in the final leg of what is still live in live money. But you can play as many combinations as you want or as little combinations as you want. So with this start of this $100,000 guaranteed all stakes pick 4 is the Mohawk Gold Cup Invitational Pace for $100,000. These are age pacers, and you got the Horse of the Year World Champion McWicked drawn post 2, coming off a big time win last week in the preferred, that was about 4 weeks ago in the preferred. He has missed time, 7-5 morning line favorite. Jimmy Freight, 7-2 second choice here. He's been sharp, but he hasn't been winning yet this season. A little bit of bad luck on his side as far as the draw goes on the small track, but last time over at the Battle of Lake Erie. But you also got a lot of Mohawk native horses here, and you've also got the Cam Luck champion, The Wall, coming in for Nick Surik and Joe Bongiorno. Do you see anything outside of the 2 favorites, McWicked and Jimmy Freight?
Well, the only other horse I'm going to use is the 5, and that's Nirvana Sealster, who tends to race very big on these big days, big races. This horse made $245,000 last year at 7 years old and went 48-1 on a night similar to this one, facing the Lazarus and the, McWickeds of the world. So he's capable, and his last 2 aren't bad. He's come from off the pace the last 2 to just miss. He should have won 2 weeks ago, but that's, neither here nor there. This horse is capable. He's going to be a price, and he's interesting to me, especially if they go, because he has a ton of guts. If he gets the front, he just wants to beat you. And I feel like that they set him up for this race with the last 2 races, and he's the only other one I'm going to use just for something, a little bit crazy. So I think he's worth a use for, yes, you're tripling the ticket, but, he's interesting to me.
Yeah, I agree. Nirvana Sealster's always right there when it comes to these bigger races. He's a horse that loves the front end, and he hasn't had the front recently. The last time he had the front outside of that qualifier was back in February when he just wasn't beating anybody. He was tired at that point. He had a lot of races in a row. I give him the benefit of the doubt here. I think he's going to fire. He gets a little bit better post. The 5 hole is the most winning post. He's going to be going, and if
actually 6, but yeah, okay.
5 universally is the most winning post.
Well, yeah, but at Mohawk it's a 6. I'm just letting you know.
Don't care. But outside of McWicked and Jimmy Freight, Nirvana Sealster has a shot if they get a little crazy in front of him. Or if he makes the lead and gets, an eighth of a mile breather in there somewhere, I think he's going to be tough as well. But with that said, McWicked is very obvious. He was dominant last season. He's got one start this year, which was extremely good from off the pace. Brian Sears jumps back on, but he has missed 4 weeks. Does that scare you at all, Mike?
The 4 week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it by any means. I mean, this horse, he's just kind of, that they can race him off a couple weeks and it doesn't really matter. I mean, if it's just, for him, it's not as big a deal as for some. I mean, he only raced 19 times last year. He won 12. He loves Mohawk. I mean, this horse loves this racetrack probably more than any other racetrack. So that's another thing. He came up, I think it was last year that he beat Lazarus in this race, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but is it, does he have recency? Not really. I mean, Jimmy Freight has been knocking heads all season. I know he hasn't won, but I feel like this might be his chance to really, I'm picking him on top because I liked him last week at Northfield from the 7-hole, which is almost impossible to win, and he blasted off. He's going to be on the front here, especially with Wah. Can he hold them all off? I'm not sure. I mean, he wasn't beating Lather up two back on June 1st. Then he ran into Dunwell and raced extremely well in that Confed Cup final. I mean, this horse has been racing against legitimate horses in fast times. And again, McWicked has bigger fish to fry this year. You're better off taking a little bit of a price to beat horses like this when you know that they've been laid up, that they're maybe not necessarily trying their best. I mean, things like that is how you get upsets. So, I think he has a very big chance.
I agree. Jimmy Freight really is the wild card here because we know he's got early speed, but he's also very, very good from off the pace. So if he decides to go with Louis Waugh, he might end up on the lead because McWicked doesn't always, he's not one that tends to fire right to the lead. He more or less likes to make that first over move and then, clear the front around the 3/4 pole. That especially from an inside post.
He's got everybody around the 3/4. Like he'll sit and then make his move, and the thing is he just grinds you into the ground in that 3rd quarter, and you have no chance.
Yeah,
so.
He's one that he'll sit outside and go at 26 and change 3rd quarter, and it won't phase him. He's that type of horse. He's pure guts, and especially over the Mohawk surface, like Mike said, this horse is extremely good. I would be interested to know what his record is over that track over the last couple of seasons because I'm not sure that he's even lost at Mohawk other than that one time when he got locked in. Was that last year? That he got locked in and finished like 2nd or 3rd, was just absolutely running horses over. I can't remember when that was. It might have been last year one time.
Yeah, I think it was.
But anyways, the track is supposed to be off tomorrow, and this horse has a very good record on the off track. You know who's got a better record on the off track? Jimmy Freight. 9 starts, 4 wins, 2 seconds, and 2/3. 8 out of 9 in the money. And the one time he wasn't in the money was at Flamborough in the Confederation Cup elimination where he finished 4th. So this horse is very good on the off going. So he's definitely one you got to have on your ticket if you're going to try to beat McWicked. But we're waiting on Ray. Ray said something. What did Ray say to us?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry. I was...
Ray texted something to us to let us know something.
He's recording his pick for Luke now, then we'll hop on. That was 3 minutes ago.
Okay. So Ray should be joining us shortly as we await his arrival. Where are we at the Meadowlands?
They're 1 minute to race 7. Maybe you want to go there real quick?
Yeah, we'll start talking about the pick 4 at the Meadowlands for tonight, which starts in race number 8, the next race. And we put tickets together for this. So if you guys are watching at home and playing, some tickets, we've got them for you.
Were the graphics posted or no? Did they post graphics for these or not?
No, we don't have graphics tonight.
Oh.
Ray does the graphics, and he didn't get them.
Okay. I'll have to post something. I'll try to post something.
So, race number 8 is the first leg of the Pick 4 $50,000 guaranteed pool, 15% takeout, 50-cent minimum bet at the Meadowlands. This is a $40,000 open for, it's called the Golden Receiver. It's a series for older pacers. And this is a race you got horses like Trump Nation, who scratched out of the Cam Luck last time. He's missed 4 weeks. Delta Winner, old class horse. Western Joe, another horse that's got a ton of back class. And the hottest horse in North America right now, Highlighter. Who do you go with? How many are you using, Mike?
I use 3 horses, and 2 are obvious. I mean, Western Joe loves the Meadowlands. He's just a monster there. He's better there than any other place. He just missed on June the 1st, kicked 25-4 there, and lost to another horse that I'm using, and that's the 5 R Max Factor in that race. Who could be a very interesting price. Get you Yannick here. And mostly, most of his wins are, not here necessarily, but that was a huge race. Harris is as hot as anything that can be. So I think you need to use those 2 horses. And then Highlighter is very obvious. It's just winning everything. And he likes the Meadowlands also. Very, very solid here. If you look back May 11th in one of the legs of this race, kicked 25-2 to win in 48-3. I mean, you don't really see that anywhere else on the page. So those are the 3. I really can't go outside of those. And depending on if the 6 and 8 mix it up, maybe the 5 can get a little trip and come catch him. But 5, 6, 8.
Yeah, I'm basically the same as you here. I'm a little bit shorter. The 6 Western Joe, he's one you got to have on the ticket. Like you said, this horse loves the Meadowlands. He's as Meadowlands horse as you can get. Come first over to win last week. Kicked home well there. You get Scott Zeron in the bike now, and coming off basically 2 straight extremely good races. That was his second and third start back off of the layoff. So, he's primed and ready. The slight class jump doesn't bother me at all. He's looking pretty sharp right now, and he's a must play. And then the 8 is the other one. Like I said, this is the hottest horse in North America right now. He's got 4 wins in a row, and he's won the Golden Receiver. He won the first 2 legs of it. So, Ricky Still's going to get him in play early again. He won first over last time, making 2 moves. He left, tucked in, and then pulled first over to win by a neck over at Pocono in his latest. He's another one, he's extremely sharp right now and just tough to keep off the ticket, even from the outside post. I mean, he won from the 8 hole here, 2 starts back. So another one, a must-have. I'm pretty chalky here, 6 and 8 for me in the front leg. Leg number 2 is race 9. We're at the Meadowlands, looking at the late pick 4, the pick 4. This is a filly and mare non-winners of 3,500, last 5 starts. Also eligible, blah, blah, blah. And here you got a field of 9. And I'll start this one out. I thought this was probably the second most wide open race of the sequence. The one Winsung Brooklyn coming off of 3 straight wins at different racetracks. 3 different racetracks, 3 wins. Hawthorne, Tioga, and Saratoga the last 3 weeks, and just dominated non-winners of 4 and 5 over at Saratoga last time. This is the 3rd start for Jimmy Nickerson, coming from Chicago, where he won, just absolutely crushed over at Hawthorne 3 starts back. Now, she gets the rail at the Meadowlands. She's got early speed. Not a ton of early speed, but enough. Tim Tetrick jumps on. I love the form, and I love that they brought her to the Meadowlands on what I think is probably a slight class drop off of a good win over at Saratoga. The 4 Fox Valley Hermia, we'll come back to it. We've got Ray Catolo live at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Ray, what's going on?
Yes. All All right, so I'm currently standing outside a circle of drivers here in the paddock. Looks like there's some important business happening as this inquiry is now over for the 7th race. Payouts are up. I see Bob McClure. I'm waiting for him to have a free moment so I could ask him some questions about some of his drives tomorrow in the Cup. We already heard some interviews with him on Best in Show. If you go and search on the media, it looks like he's talking to Doug McNair right now. I'm going to see if I can snag him for a moment.
How's the atmosphere up there?
The atmosphere is good. It's very sharp. I was just outside breathing the clean air of, I think, Newports. I don't know what they smoke up here. But I got my official media wristband, meaning that I am indeed media. I am indeed supposed to be here.
Who'd you steal it from?
So far, what does it feel like?
No, who'd you steal it from?
Oh. Well, if anyone was watching the feed, we were talking about how it was a battle at the border. At least that's how we are naming the North American. Everyone knows I don't work for Mohawk Park. But it very much was a battle to get up here. The border man good looks, and he did.
Hey, stop.
Now I'm just wandering around.
Stop walking away from the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. I also have mobile.
Well,
Anyway, it looks like the drivers are watching the replay of this race.
Lou Sorella said he ran into you tonight. He's watching the
Yes,
show.
Lou Sorella is around. How's he watching the show? He was just... Did he leave?
He's on his phone
Leave the
watching.
track? Was he watching on his phone?
Yeah.
He's on his phone watching. He must be disrupting an entire dinner.
No,
I'm
we're
a
just
fairly
that
loud
awesome.
guy, you know.
We're just that awesome. Bang, bang.
Uh-oh, Chris Christopher's in trouble.
Voices
Either
from
he just
above.
has to talk to someone.
Well, that's because he maybe might have interfered last time.
Well, right now all the drivers are watching the tape, and then from there may head up. Actually, let's show you here. We got Jody fixing himself, along with all the other drivers here. James McDonald talking to I don't know who.
You might as well jump in there, right?
Yeah, jump in there. Just jump in.
Jump in there.
Yeah.
Right in the middle.
All right.
I'm not even kidding. Jump right in the middle.
Yeah. Get in there.
Ray's ignoring us.
Get in there, man.
I'm watching the race. I'm seeing what I did wrong.
You didn't do anything. Ray, who's standing next to you?
Good question. All right. That's how that race went.
Jump in the crowd of drivers there before they leave.
I'm going to grab Louie. Louie! I don't know if we've met. Ray Catolo. You remember Ray. I'm here with Rod and Mike.
Louie.
I'm sure you remember Rod. You have a moment to talk about tomorrow's card? Like a second? So, first things first, you're driving Jimmy Bray tomorrow in the Mohawk Gold Cup. Clearly raced really well. You weren't there to drive him that night at Cleveland. But so, you've driven here over at Mohawk. How have you noticed he's changed from 3 to 4?
I already been asked that question, and I said, he was perfect at 3. You can drive him anyhow you want. If you want to leave with him, you can sit after. If you want to take him back, you can do whatever you want with him. So that's probably his biggest quality. He still has it. So he didn't have much to change from 3 to 4, so he came back and the same he was.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any kind of issues with him going up against some older horses tomorrow for 100,000? Or you think he can take them?
And even last year, he raced in that Gold Cup actually. And he was pretty good when he was 3 against those older horses. So I think he can go with that group. There is that Nick Wicked that is going to probably be the horse to beat. But you never know what can happen. That's what I like from my horse. You can trip him the way you want. So you can sometimes enjoy better trip than Nick Wicked that race mainly from the same spot.
And then you also have a drive in the Roasted Red on AA Mint from the second tier. How are you going to go about that? You always love to lead. You can't lead from the second tier.
Even with this mare against that group, we were a little bit trying to get a trip with her, so we can hopefully they go a little bit faster earlier, and we can pick up pace at the end.
Doug, you think Louis is a good driver?
Who's going to get the trip? Who's driving it? Who's going to fight on the trip?
You got good hands too, from what I hear. I haven't felt it, but I assume.
You have a good interview up there?
Oh yeah, I had a good interview, I think. Yeah, but
Who's this guy?
who do you think it is?
It's Rod.
It's Mr. Ron Allen. It's the man
Bang,
that
bang.
knows.
What's going on, man?
What up?
I couldn't really see.
Well, no one can really see him. Like, he wears the shades, he's trying to hide from the government. You
Yeah.
understand.
It makes too much money.
Yeah.
See you later, please.
Yeah, see you later, Dougie. Reason why I did not ask him any questions, I forgot which horses he's driving tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Only Ray. Only Ray.
I don't think he has a drive in the Cup. As far as I know. McClure was in the judge's office, but he's reviewing tapes right now. Sean Stacy's up there, but he doesn't have any horses of note. But for now, I can at least tell you. Actually, I don't know if I should tell you my Cup horse. It's kind of a secret for the pre-show tomorrow on Cup night.
Well, we're gonna
We filmed a little video too. We have to send to Luke.
Yeah, I recorded mine, Fluff and all. I was Fluff, of course. All decided to show up, and I'm telling you right now, working on a mystery. I don't think he's the horse. I wish I could find Brian here to talk to him, but
Brian won't be there till
is-
tomorrow.
Yeah, he's not coming up till tomorrow because the horse scoped sick and went down to Lexington right after the eliminations. But everyone is assuming, of course, that he's going to come back up and he's going to be even better than he was in the elimination. But I raised the hypothesis of, what if he's not?
I don't even have him in my top 4. So.
Oh, that's well. How come?
Well, I just think that that last week he had a lesser elimination. He was sick after the race. It's an extremely competitive race, so I think that he might be in trouble against some of these visitors.
The one hint I will leave everyone as to my pick in the North America Cup. The horse comes out of that elimination. He's the best horse in that elimination.
Yeah, I already know who you like.
You got me. A Flame Hanover's my pick.
No, that's
Mine.
right.
That's mine. Bang, bang.
Right. I love Linda. I love the horse. They're gonna need some real luck from that inside spot.
They are.
Yeah.
The thing though with that race is
50 to 1.
My horse is probably gonna be like 15.
More.
But the thing with this race is you have to imagine working on a mystery is not, hold on, we got a horse that wants to be on the show. He's kicking his foot right now. He's just, so I'm going to interview this horse right now. I believe this was from race 2. Who was in race 2 tonight here at Mohawk?
A bunch of horses.
Well, no, this one in particular. This one in particular is, let's see, 9. Yes. I think it's Erica's Shadow. No, it can't be Erica's Shadow. Okay. So this is Morning is Broken. I'm just gonna assume it's Morning is Broken because I don't mean to sound racy or anything, but most horses look the same. And earlier tonight, you had your race. Did it really go out the way you thought it could?
He said, "Who the hell are you?"
Well, everyone knows me. I'm the chef. Who do you think you are? I don't even know who you are.
Now Ray's pretending to be me.
This is Ray's best interview ever.
Now, if you could do anything that wasn't racing, this is a question that I personally get asked a lot. Would you say that you'd be more of a baker? You'd be maybe a carpenter?
He don't even know what those are.
Well, he's trying to back up for me right now, and I don't understand why. I've been everything and cordial to you. What do you think you're doing? Don't leave the interview. You can't leave the interview. She literally can't. She's haltered up. Okay, so she's asking for a fight right now. I'm gonna have to walk away from this confrontation. I'm a weakling. I cannot take on a horse. I can take on 3 men in a bar. I've tried it once.
Yeah,
but
we know you lost.
I can't take on 2 tons of pure stud.
That was a mare.
I was also walking away because there was a security guard looking weirdly at me.
Yeah. Probably a good
Part
idea.
of the media. Oh, we're live right now on the internet. Oh, okay. Have we met by chance? Have we met by chance? I'm Ray Catola. Mike, nice to meet you. Well, what is it that you do around here at Mohawk?
Just spend my time.
You spend your time here?
Yeah.
Are you a groom?
No,
A hen? Oh, nothing? No? So you're just passing the time walking around here? You got any helpful inside information?
No,
Ah.
Andy got some.
Oh, he's got some. Oh. I hate to interrupt, but he told me you have some inside information.
Oh no, it's a horse race. Anything goes.
Oh, sure, anything goes. But just earlier in the card, that one horse that was like 41-1 finished second. She was telling me that she was wanting to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she just. They had to keep walking her around in circles. She kept wanting to.
You're sure?
She was sharp, but she finished second. She almost wired that field.
Oh yeah. Where's $4?
This guy's
Yeah,
everywhere. He's everywhere. He's in London. He's at Mohawk.
We're on TV.
We're on
Yeah.
TV right now. Can you believe it?
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, I came from America. I traveled up to Canada. I didn't realize I traveled to the future.
The future.
Yeah, the future's now, I guess.
This is the future, eh?
You seeing anything interesting here? Any horses telling you they want to race here in the paddock? I think this one wants to race.
Yeah, he's feeling good. He's sure.
He in later tonight?
He's in the 11th.
Oh, he's in the 11th. This is the 4 horse then.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Pro Beach.
Pro Beach. Oh, I think I like. Oh, it also says on the halter there. In case
Yes.
you're wondering. Oh, this horse is real photogenic too. There was. Oh, you should look.
He's getting ready to warm up.
Excuse me. He's getting angry now that I got it wrong. Oh.
Hmm?
You're the groom of this horse?
Yeah.
So,
Everything.
all right, just all right.
All right. He was second there Monday. They raced here.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's back in tonight, so he'll be nice and tight.
For the quick turnaround. Oh,
Yeah.
the horse is agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So if this horse can speak English, like I'm guessing, Pro Beach. That's your name, right? Okay. You didn't want to. He's getting tired of this bit already.
He has an ear hood on. He can't hear you. He has an ear hood on.
If there were any harness commentator that you'd want to take out to dinner, would it be me? He's thinking about it.
It'd probably be Rod. He probably already knows him.
He's thinking about it. Look at that. He said yes. Or
Yeah,
was that
after
me?
Mike
Just
said
one
that.
maybe?
Well, it might have been a yes.
What's your name by chance?
Brett.
Brett. Nice to meet you. You're on North American Harness Update.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
Yeah. This is Brett, the groom of Pro Beach, who's racing in the 11th tonight. I think I have that horse in the Can-Am Pick Ford, actually.
Hey, Brett.
Yeah.
Brett and I hung out at London for a little while a couple weeks ago.
Oh, Ron Allums Jr. is here. He said that he hung out with you at London.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I guess Pro Beach is there, too.
Yet another person that knows Rod. What a shock.
Okay, now I gotta find another person who knows Rod. Because everyone seems to know him.
Tell Ron I said hi.
Oh, Brett says hi, Rod.
Bang, bang.
All right. So I'm getting the smell. Oh, just the smell of pure horse, among other things.
You could go into like a Canadian field somewhere in like the remote wilderness and find that human being, and he hung out with Rod 3 weeks ago.
It's funny you say that because when Luke and I were driving up here, we were going up the highway and there was just some guy walking through the grassy ditch. There was no car for miles to show that he parked and started walking there.
Rod
And
probably
then
was there when he was up there.
well, we stopped. We stopped on the highway. We said, "Hey, you know Rod Allums Jr.?" And he said, "Rod Allums Jr.? We went to high school together."
Yeah.
Mind you, we're probably at this point like near Guelph.
Wow.
What? Why do they pronounce the U? I don't get it.
What do you mean? You saying it's Guelph?
That's how it would be said here.
No, it's Guelph.
This show's gone completely off the rails already.
Well, look, the Can-Am Pick 4 is happening later. Did you guys talk about that yet?
No, we're not doing the
We're already
Can-Am.
doing that.
We're doing
Oh, that's unfortunate.
we're doing the Meadowlands Pick 4.
Well, that's unfortunate because I got, I think, a winning ticket here in this sequence.
Which, by the way, is starting up in about 5 minutes. I'm just going to give my ticket real quick. My ticket is 6'8" width, 1'4", 6'7" width, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 width, 7, 8. It's $48 for 50 cents. Mike, give your ticket.
I'm also playing 48, 5, 6, 8 with 1, 2, 4, 7 with 3, 4, 5, 6 with 7, 8. I posted it on Twitter if you want to see it, and I punched it.
This is the Meadowlands pick 4?
Yes.
Oh, here's my ticket. I'm 2689 with 17 with 259 with 578. That's also up on the site, NAHUpicks.com. Here's a really wet horse. And there he goes. Champion. I think it's a she, actually. That's a she.
As Ray peeks underneath the horse's legs.
So, Ray, you have tomorrow's program in your hand, so when you interview these guys, you know what the hell's going on.
I do have it in my hand. I made notes of which horses Juan was driving.
Okay, well, they should be coming off the track. Maybe you could snag something.
You are correct, sir. You are very correct. As I'm also just carrying everything with me right now. That's Friday's card. This horse is still going. This horse is... I swear, you're gonna read an article tonight. Horse breaks loose, runs over commentator, and the commentator is going to be me.
We caught it live.
Oh, I wish that would happen.
Okay, so I'm trying to open my program.
It'd be the best TV ever.
But don't let me stop you while I'm trying to.
Well, we gave our tickets at the Meadowlands for the pick 4. Mike and I both played $48. Ray played. What did you play, Ray? $24?
36.
36.
Wow, that's a big ticket for you.
That is a big ticket for me, but I feel like it's a fairly tough sequence, even though the first few races I saw were pure chalk and incredibly obvious. I don't know if the cards changed at all.
It was pretty chalky.
That board's pretty even in that first leg. I mean, there's, Western Joe and Highlander are both 2 to 1. How about the Bond 17 to 1? That's too high.
Yeah, that's a good price.
Actually, before you cut to the Meadowlands, I'm going to see here. Sylvain, my name is Ray Catolo. I'm with North American Horse Update. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Rod Adams Jr. by chance?
Yes.
Everyone's heard of him. Yeah. I just want to ask you a quick question about tomorrow. North American Cup.
Yeah.
All right. You're driving Tyga Hanover. I also know you're very much like along the way that you like to just gun out of there and go. But it seems like with Tyga Hanover, are you thinking of putting him into play to try and get a trip, or what are your thoughts preliminarily about how you're going to go about the race?
I'll see how it goes behind the gate. We didn't predict that he's going to leave, and sometimes you got to change your mind and take back. I'll just see how he feels, how the other horses react, and go from there. Play it by ear.
Do you feel that in the event you have to take the horse really far back, that he could be that kind of horse? If they go real fast up front, he could catapult late? Because so far it just seems like his best races have come out of the pocket.
Yeah, he can race either way. I think he's good either way. He's improving week by week. Last time he raced, his blood was maybe not 100%. Ben told me he did some work on him. He's much better this week, so he's a big race.
And no fear that he's a non-winners of 3 type moving into the $1 million ranks?
No, not really. He proved to me last week that he could race.
Dougie's getting a little frisky there.
Yeah.
As we're talking to Sylvain, driver of Tyga Hanover. Thank you, Sylvain. Actually, I could probably snag Mr. Razuma. You want to be on North American Horse Update? What are you talking? Okay, so we have Mr. Razuma. There's Mike.
We got
up?
Proposing in the house. Where's Rod? There he is.
I'm right
That's
here.
Rod right there.
Yeah. What's going on, fellas?
What up?
I got my Timmies here.
Oh,
Yeah, you have to
gosh.
hide it though on the feed, even though you got a Timmy's out front. You think you want to give us an advertisement?
I'd like to. Yeah, especially if it means,
Ray, don't stand too close because he's on fire right now.
What's going on?
Mike's saying that I shouldn't stand too close because you're on fire.
On fire? We're not tonight. He must have not. Yeah.
Well,
We must be on a
last
tape
night-
delay here because you haven't seen my picks tonight. My goodness. Ugh.
And just for everyone wondering, when you look under the set, there are indeed pants. He's wearing pants.
There are
under the
indeed
set.
pants, yeah.
It's one of the biggest mysteries of all anchoring.
Only on the cool nights. Only on the cool nights.
Watch this because I'm in town. That's really cool.
That's right.
Now Chad, tomorrow night, of course, one of the biggest nights at Mohawk, even though we don't want to neglect the fact that in September the Grand Circuit comes back up here, the Breeders' Crown comes back up here.
Yep.
What would you say is probably your best bet on the stakes races tomorrow? Don't give me like a Atlanta or...
No, I don't want to do that. Actually,
good.
I've got one. Does it have to be a stakes race?
Does
give me a
No,
race.
it doesn't.
I actually love Fast and First tomorrow night in the 8th race. In the program insert, I put that as my lock of the night. I want to say he's about 4-1 morning line. I think he had some pace in that some big somewhere in his latest. Just a much easier spot for him. I think he can take advantage tomorrow. So that's my lock. Others, are going to be short prices. I think you might get 5 to 2, 3 to 1 on this guy.
And then, of course, the North American Cup, which, by the way, if anyone says North American Cup in your site, you correct them, okay?
Okay.
You have to do
Fair
that.
enough.
Give them like a little tap on the shoulder. Or
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I've heard that you're a working on a mystery kind of guy, especially since he's sticking that a limb off of the 48 mile.
Yeah.
You really think that they might have everything fully corrected come this week?
Even if they don't, this guy's just a powerhouse. He's got wicked speed. To me, he's got the best big money driver around in Tim Tetrick. Big fan of his. Brian Brown, he's only had a handful of horses, not even a handful yet in this race, and he's doing very well, and I think he's well positioned for his second win, but do not count out Captain Crunch. He got in. This would be a heck of a story if he were to go on. You and I were talking about it earlier, how people always seem to forget about, a horse off of just one poor race.
Yep.
Wasn't even that poor. He raced big given the circumstances. This guy tomorrow night, with a clean trip, he could bounce back.
And there's no shadows to jump over.
There shouldn't be.
No. Unless he finds another thing to jump over, in which case...
That's right.
I'm sticking to the rail.
But of course, Chad knows my pick. I don't want you to leak it on the air.
No,
but
I won't.
He looked at me and he said, "Are you nuts? Are you crazy? You almost threw me out of the room."
Might have even had a couple other choice words in there. Yeah. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion, right?
I guess you could just say I'm wrong in that way. That's a polite way to say
Hey,
it.
colleague Jason Orlando still thinks that tomorrow something out of the ordinary is going to happen. And if your pick wins, that will be something out of the ordinary. Not because it would be your pick. I just think this horse is going to be a long shot, as he should be.
Although, I did give out a pick earlier in the night. Horse almost won, but of course, extra
really well.
almost, yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Finished exactly where Mike Probosi picked the horse to be, though.
Oh, yeah.
Third.
Mike had magical victory third in that race I went on the air for.
That's right.
Well, Chad, good luck tomorrow night.
All right.
I'll see you around.
Yes. Keep up the good work. You guys get down here for the Breeders' Crown. Let's go.
We'll be there.
If you help pay for the flight, certainly. Chad Rosama, ladies and gentlemen. We have Grand River up for some reason.
They like watching races.
Yeah, that's true. They do have horses racing up there. It's 2 minutes to the 10th there. Where are we running at clockwise here? We're at 9:58.
Yes.
I imagine, unless you want to start rolling into some of the stakes now.
Well, we went through the first 4 stake races, so
Okay.
we've got the all stakes races. Races 10 through 13 are all stakes, which we can go through. So we'll go ahead and jump into those since we've got you on right now. So race number 10.
What I'll do, you guys have to go to break soon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So what I'll do is I'll just run through my picks in the stakes that aren't the North American Cup. Although I will tell you the reasoning for why I like this horse in the North American Cup, because you'll see tomorrow if you watch the pre-show at Woodbine Mohawk Park, which you can find if you're a Roberts customer. It has its own channel. Keep that in mind. It's not going to be on the Woodbine Thoroughbred feed. They usually stream on the same channel, but it's such a big night. There's 2 channels. One with Mohawk Park purely on it.
They're starting early. Let's keep that in mind too. The
Yep.
first post is 6:30, right?
6:30 post. All the show gets started around 5:30 with the anthem. And then, of course, Mohawk Racing Live has a special hour edition preview for the North American Cup. At the tail of the pre-show, you'll have a guest segment. You'll see me, and of course, you'll see Mr. Prebosi potentially with his pick. But my pick is going to be the shock, because I'm pretty sure no one else has this horse whatsoever. But the 10th race you guys were on?
Yes.
Okay, you got up to the 10th race. If I'm not mistaken, that's the Van Hanover.
No, it's the Mr. Oh, wait, yeah. Sorry.
It is the Van Hanover. Okay. So that race is a bit interesting because it's dependent on Warwi Ubutte, whether she's truly this monster that is once unreigned, just dominant over this entire division like she was last year, or if someone presses her, and pardon me for covering myself as I open up the past performances, or if she's the kind of horse where if someone presses her and challenges her, she might be a bit vulnerable. Because Treacherous Rain, if you look at her race last week, she made a move similar to Warwi Ubutte, and she seems like a potential speed foe to this one. And in the event there is some kind of speed battle, of course, I recognize Warwi Ubutte's the horse to beat. She could certainly win the race at 3 to 5. But Beach Bar was racing incredibly well going into the elimination, even in the elimination. She kicked home in 25 and 3 to gain ground there on Warwi Ubutte, albeit horses were gaining ground because Jingba was trying to shut her down by the 3/4 pole, which of course makes her an even more respectful favorite. I'm talking here, please be quiet. Thank you. Beach Bar, in the event of a pace meltdown, could be coming late at a big price in that 10th race. The 11th is the North America Cup, of course. That horse, all I'm saying is don't go for a short price. Do not go for a short price. Go for whichever horse is the most visually appealing, because it was very tough to find any horses that looked really good out of those eliminations. Like Hurricane Emperor, for instance, made his best move when the race was slowest and he hung late. Best in Show kind of weaved through horses late, didn't really show much pace. The horse to take, at least in my opinion, is the one that got a pretty nice trip, but seems so in hand and so versatile that it doesn't matter what trip he can get, and the race could fall into his lap in that way. Otherwise, the 12th race, the Roses are Red, Caviar Alley. Come on, don't take Chart. Chart's going to be 1 to 5. I mean, sure, if you want to win the race, you'll have a better chance.
It's going to be 2 to 1, so.
Well, I mean, if you want to win the race, you'll have a shot with Chart. But here's the interesting setup that I was thinking about. If Caviar Alley plays to Sharton as the catalyst to the pace, as the Davy to the Goliath, well, the David to the Goliath, I referenced the claymation cartoon show. If Caviar Alley presses Sharton, watch out for Better Joy. Watch out for the other Jim King horse to potentially snag that race at a price, at a bigger price than Caviar Alley. It could be one of those instances that the Kings win with the wrong horse. In the event that Sharton is pressed to the bone. That's the Roses are Red in my opinion. Caviar Alley or Better Joy. Better Joy's going to be a better price. Caviar Alley is the stronger horse in my opinion. And of course, I talked to Brett Pelling earlier. I talked to him yesterday about the mare, and she seems ready to go. He seems confident that she can challenge Sharton. Certainly, we saw her at the Betsy Ross. She almost won that race. The only reason she lost was because Tetrick was able to get out at the exact moment he was supposed to and not get boxed in. So that's going to be a race that plays down to just minute to or second to second moves. And you can take Sharton or you can try to go for a price. They're getting ready to parade here for the 10th. I imagine you got to go to break. That's the stakes from Mohawk Park for tomorrow for me. I'm going to head out and have fun with the rest of the night. Everyone from North American Arts Update, thank you. And unless you want me to snag him quickly.
All right, Ray.
Later.
I'm good.
You're
All
good.
right, take care.
As
By the way, if you're going to the finish here, it looks like Highlighter's gonna.
yeah,
finish it
Highlighter
off.
just made the front, but he's gonna hang on. It looks like by about a neck, head or a neck. 48 and 3. That's a big mile off of 3/4 and
Yeah.
122 and 3.
First off, kicked home 26 flat. That's giant.
Yeah, he was
The
large.
5 had no chance the way it was driven, but that's another story. But they probably weren't beating this horse anyway.
Well, we're going to go to break real quick. When we come back, Mike and I are going to discuss races 10 through 13 tomorrow at Woodbine Mohawk Park quickly. We're going to talk about race number 7 tomorrow night at Running Aces, which is the Trout Air Trot. Say that 4 times fast. For $20,000. And then we're going to jump into the late pick 4 for Sunday night at Running Aces. Also coming up is some carryover notifications for tomorrow night at Running Aces as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. And we are back with more North American Harness Update. I'm your host, Rod Allums Jr., joined by Mike Probosi. Ray Cotolo just got off the air with us. He's live up at Woodbine Mohawk Park currently. Got a lot of good content from Ray tonight.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. We got some driver interviews. We had Chad on, he's great. I mean, he's always a lot of fun, and we had a little interview with the horse. I mean, we had to get a little Ray. That's the thing. We have to get Ray in and let Ray do Ray, because if Ray doesn't do Ray, he can't do what he's supposed to do. So we let him do that, and then look how he comes through. I mean, that's So we let Ray do his little stuff, which was good, and then he got to business, and here we are. So
yeah, it was very informative. Mike, I actually think you were surprised. You haven't been surprised at people that know me. I think you were actually a little bit surprised that Sylvain knew me.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised with anybody anymore that knows you. Okay, he took some random guy out of that horse's butt. Do you know Rod? Of course, yeah. I was just hanging out with Rod 5 minutes ago. Like, what is that? Seriously.
It was
like,
fun.
How does that even happen?
It was funny that Ray grabbed Brett, because I saw him standing there, and I'm like, this is funny, because he's just grabbing a random groom right in front of the camera, and he happens to know me. We hung out 2 weeks ago.
It really is.
But since we've got Mohawk open for tomorrow night, we're going to jump right back into it, close out the card real quick with the final 4 stake races. Ray gave out his contenders for these stakes races. I'm going to start with race number 10, the Fan Hanover Final, $454,000 for 3-year-old Payson fillies. And, for me, Treacherous Rain gets a massive post shift. She's going to be very tough to beat. Made 2 moves last time and was still well in hand for Dexter Dunn, Tony Alagna. I mean, the connections are there. She's won all 3 starts she's had this year, and she's been extremely sharp in all 3 wins. So I think her form, she seems to be coming into peak form right now. I just can't fault what she's doing, and she's got that big post shift, which is a key for me. So I'm going to throw her on top and try to beat Warrawee U-Butte, who's going to be the likely favorite.
Yeah, I agree completely. That's who I took on top. What I liked is the fact that, that 10-hole did nothing to bother her whatsoever. She crushed in that race and never even took a deep breath, kicked home 26-3. Dexter Dunn's probably driving as good as anything in the country. I think he is legitimate. He's just as good as, the Yonex, the Millers, everybody that's up there. He's very, very, very good. And, you're getting a price again. I mean, you're going to get 2.5 to 1 as opposed to, 1 to 5, 1 to 4. Those are the obvious 2 in the race. Probably the obvious 2 in the pick 4. The 1 is interesting only because, that race on May 24th against Older at the Meadowlands went 51-2. That was very good, and then chased, the likely favorite last time and didn't give in and actually made a little ground, kicked 26-2 in the sub 150 mile. She's capable. She won 7 out of 11 last year. She has a shot.
Yeah, I agree. And I actually agree with Ray's price play, Beach Bar, in that race. Kicking home 25 and change last time. She just got to get put in play for Sean Stacy. Outside post is the killer, obviously, but I think she plays in exotics for sure. The race of the night. This is the 36th edition of the Pepsi North America Cup for $1 million. Full field of 10 here, and Ray wouldn't give us his
which I don't understand why he wouldn't.
I don't know. He wants everybody to watch tomorrow, which is fine, but whatever. Mike, start us off here. Top play.
All right, so I do like the race quite a bit. I do think that the horse to beat, even though he's probably maybe 6-7 to 1 in the race, is the 2 De Los Cielos Deo. This horse tipped itself 2 back in this qualifier. Look at that June 1st qualifier, 48-4. Now, when's the last time you've seen a qualifier in 48-4? And then last time, though, they were very patient with the horse, sat, came, made one move, massive back half in the race. I mean, made up 9 lengths, kicked home 25, looked like the horse had rockets, coming off the sulky. He's ready. He draws perfect, and he's going to be extremely difficult to hold off in the race because, you have horses like the 3, the 4, the 6, the 7, the 8, all, going for $1 million and leaving the gate. He's going to sit, get in any kind of flow at all, and when the stretch comes, if he's anywhere close, he's going to fly past everybody without any issue, and I think win the race quite easily. I think he's very, very, very tough in the race.
I do like this horse as well. Talking about the 2, De Los Cielos Deo. This is one that, like you said, was absolutely flying home last week. A must play again. He should get a nice trip. But I'm going for a long shot here. The 1, Aflame Hanover, sat in last week. First time Andy McCarthy drove the horse. Gets the rail, so a better post. And should be able to sit right off the leaders. I don't think he's going to fire extremely hard off the car. I think he's probably going to look for a trip. He might let a horse like Captain Treacherous get in front of him and follow him up. The setup might be perfect where he comes second over here. And if they go some wicked fractions early on, I think this horse is going to be put in play late. And he's got a good enough kick as well that he should be able to kick home well as anything in here. He's just got to obviously outkick the 5, hold the 2 off late. I don't know what they do with the 2, but
the 1's going to be 50 to 1 in a race, Rod, maybe more.
That's fine.
I'm just saying he's going to be. You're going to get every bit 50. I mean, the horse was 84 to 1 in the elimination.
Yeah, and he raced pretty well. He just sat in.
Okay, but I mean, he's just. I mean, this is a massive pick. If this horse would win, I would be like, I would be just mystified, to be honest.
Not me. That's my pick. That's my pick for the North America Cup. Going for a big price here. Race number 12 is the Roses of Red Final. $330,000 for older filly and mare pacers. And Ray was going with Caviar Alley here. I don't think they beat Sharton. She's extremely good right now. I'm not going against her. She's too good right now.
I think she's good, and we're not exactly breaking any ground here. If you're looking for horses to use, maybe in the pick 4, I think You're My Candy Girl is worth a shot with the draw with Yannick. Was much better last time. This horse has made $1.5 million. She likes the big track. If you look back on May the 18th, she kicked 25-1 against Caviar Alley. You're going to get a price here on a horse that, is classy enough to beat these 2 horses. And once in a while, Sharton can stub her toe a little bit. Is she the one to beat? Of course she is. Another one to use in the mix that raced really well last time was the 9, Sea Swift Joy. This horse had no chance, was basically locked the entire way around the racetrack, finally got out and kicked 25-2, has excelled since coming to Woodbine, won 3 consecutive preferreds, likes the racetrack. You keep McNair. That's a price that maybe could fill out the bottom there.
Good play underneath, I think.
Yeah, I mean, probably not good enough to beat the best ones, but, those are 2 prices there that I would be interested in.
Well, we're moving on from the stakes action at Woodbine Mohawk Park tomorrow, which that card is just loaded with it, so you have to watch that, to Running Aces up in Minnesota. They've got an open handicap trot going for $20,000. It's called the Trout Air Trot. And you got to feel the 7 here. Key notes in this race, though. Number 1, Pride Crest returns. He's one of 3 track record holders in this one race. It is a shorter field of 7, but the likes of Banker Volo, track record holder, Silverload, track record holder, Pride Crest, track record holder. Bring over the money, who's been sharp, and a horse that is kind of unknown at this point because it's a first-time shipper, the 5 winning Lyric at 7-2 morning line. How do you see this race, and what do you see happening here?
Well, I think it's hard to like the 5 in the race because the horse has been off a month, off a 6 scratch. Yeah, it was racing against decent ones like 2 a.m. and that's a nice horse. That horse would probably be favored against these. Silver Load was in the wrong place last time, and just, I think you could probably toss that race out, and that could be the value, especially off that trip. That's the one that's sort of interesting to me because you're going to get maybe 6, 7, 8 to 1 now, where you were getting 3 to 5 on this horse not that long ago against similar types, whereas Bankerville had a perfect trip, got the front, and just crushed him. He's not going to be by himself here. You're going to get pressure from the 4, from the 5. The 3 likes to leave. So I would be more interested in a horse like the 6, who you're going to get a price on. You get that one bad race you can just pitch. Has won 14 races the past 2 years. That would be who I would think would be very interesting in here.
Yeah, I agree. I think Silverload is going to be better than he was. He's lost 2 in a row now. He missed a week prior to that last start. So obviously there was some type of slight issue there, maybe sickness, that maybe just wasn't quite over. And like you said, the trip wasn't very good last week. But Banker Volo has been extremely sharp. The horse that I really like in here, coming back off the layoff, is the 3 Pride Crest. Very good qualifier on the off-going. And if you remember, that qualifier was on Tuesday.
He is quirky.
He is, but he's extremely fast, and he loves running aces.
Mm-hmm.
On Tuesday, it rained before the card, and the track was very, very sticky for that qualifier. So, they allowed 1 second in the qualifier. It's probably closer to 2.5 seconds, as sticky as the track was. So, you look at that, probably a 56 qualifier. He's ready to go with these, and I think he's in line for a big race off of the 2-month layoff.
Do you think that he hurts the 7 in the race though, and is by that the 7 hurts him? So maybe that they rough each other up and it sets it up for something from off of it.
I don't think so, because being the first start off the layoff, I think Mooney, the driver of the 3 Pride Crest, he's going to leave, but he's not going to leave to hang everybody. I think he's going to leave enough to look for that 2-hole trip, especially being first start back off the layoff. Mooney's a smart guy, smart driver. I think he's going to have him in the right position there. And if the horse is tight enough, I think he can win that race. But we've also got another pick 4 that we're going to start after this race goes at the Meadowlands. The second leg of the pick 4. We're both live. I believe Ray is live as well. Ray's ticket is on NAHUpicks.com. Mike and I both live after Highlighter won the first leg. We got less than a minute to post here. I'm live to the 1, 4, 6, and 7. The 1 is currently even money favorite here. Mike, what are you live to?
Low. Don't you think that's pretty low for that one?
Yeah, it is a bit low.
Well,
Ooh, 3 to 5 now.
3 to 5 on a horse coming from Saratoga with a 6% trainer. I mean, yuck.
Yeah,
I like the 2. I like the 2 a little. Was 4 to 1 against similar last time, and really had no chance. Steer stays. Get an inside draw, and now you're getting a really nice price. 24 to 1, way too large as far as I'm concerned. The 4 Fox Valley Hermia was hammered in that race last week on June 7th for Zurich, and basically grinded out a win. There's nothing wrong with this horse right back. 9 wins this year, and the 7 Better Chill Out is another obvious one. 10-hole last time, no shot, made the lead, and then sort of faltered. but, has raced against numbers of 6,000s recently, numbers of 9,000s recently, always seems to kick home, has had tough posts. Dave Miller sticks, and you're getting 5-1 currently. I don't know. Maybe they know on the one. I don't really know how this horse is going to pay 3-5 in the pick 4 necessarily.
No way.
I think the 2 is worth a deuce at 26-1. That's
10-1 on the 4 currently. Love the price there, but they are behind the gate. So we're going to turn it over to Ken Workington for the call.
On gate, race 9, ready for a start. Here they come. And they're off. Narshan Jewel, Bill Mann, they go out for the lead. Better Chill Out also shoots out with Give Me Your Heart from the inside, and Motu Moonbeam is 4th and gaining around the first turn. Better Than Bree is stride for stride with Winsun Brooklyn, the favorite, jammed up early here. And then it's Fox Valley Hermia from the inside, and Live Odds. The early trailer is DG's Shadow Bell. At the opening quarter, it is Better Chill Out and Dave Miller in front. In 28 seconds, it's 7-2. Better Chill Out is going to set the pace across the backstretch off the turn. Narshan Jewel second by 2.5. Give Me Your Heart is next in line third. Motu Moonbeam is 4th. Winsun Brooklyn 5th on the cones, followed by Better Than Bree, then Fox Valley Hermia, and Live Odds, and DG's Shadows Bell. Single file at the half, and Better Chill Out carves it out. Better Chill Out, Narshan Jewel, 2-hole ride, 56-28 again. Motu Moonbeam activated first over, very quickly into second to challenge. Live cover for Winsun Brooklyn, second over 4th onto the far turn. Give Me Your Heart shoveled to 5th. To the outside comes Better Than Bree. Now 5th, 3rd over. As they continue to head to 3/4. Then it's Live Odds. Right now 4th over and trying to catch up to cover. Then Fox Valley Hermia was shuffled back, and DG's Shadows Bell. Motu Moonbeam took the lead, but Winsun Brooklyn's right there threatening. 124 into the stretch. Winsun Brooklyn and Tim Tetrick take over and draw clear with authority, leaving Motu Moonbeam in her wake, and she's full out. And the others for minor spoils here, it's Winsun Brooklyn by 2. Winsun Brooklyn slowing up, but it's Winsun Brooklyn. Narshan Jewel fired late, and it's too close to call. Narshan Jewel, Winsun Brooklyn, Motu Moonbeam was closing, so was Give Me Your Heart. 152-1.
Did the one win it? I think he did, but holy man.
Man, that thing came to a walk the last 50 yards.
I mean, just falling down. I think it got there, but
I don't know.
God. How would you like to be sitting there at 3-5? I mean, I'm out if it got beat, but.
Let's see.
Yeah, it got beat.
Yeah.
Easy got beat.
That's the 6, right?
Annoying. Yeah, I mean, wow.
My
Did you have any
ticket's
6?
still live, yep.
Yeah, I didn't.
5-1.
I can't stand those. I mean, this horse had bad posts, but I can't stand those numbers of 4,000 races at Philly and Pocono. They're terrible. But the one supposed to win that race, I don't know what happened there. I mean, that's wow. Well, whatever.
Well, you know Narshan Jewel, this horse always does well at the Meadowlands. You remember a couple months ago with this horse was drawn post 9-10 every week.
It just wasn't my time for this race. The 2 actually got a perfect trip. I mean, he really had no excuse.
Yeah, it just petered out late.
But Jesus. They put the 1 up.
What?
Apparently,
where's the wire?
I don't know, but they're okay. Yeah, go official now.
I don't know about that photo.
I don't either. I mean, that's crazy. If that's the case, they need to switch that finish line camera like today, because that's like it looked like the 6 was like ahead in front.
Yeah, that. I don't know. The inside's had the advantage over there for how long? And now it's the outside?
Okay. Oof, that was...
Outside by neck.
Okay.
I guess.
I mean, at first look, I thought the 1 won the race, just from looking at it. But then after those other angles came up, I thought there's no way he won the race. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we normally bring you the pick 5 for Sunday at Running Aces, but I own a horse in the front leg of the pick 5, so we're not doing the pick 5. We're going to do the pick 4, the late pick 4 at Running Aces for Sunday night. Sunday, yes.
Sunday.
Couple of notes for Saturday at Running Aces. Pick 5 carryover, $7,005.
Jackpot pick 5.
That's the jackpot pick 5. The early pick 4 has a carryover of $2,021, which starts right in race number 1. Make sure you get a play in on that. And the high 5 in race number 7, which we just talked about, which is the Trout Air Trot, has a carryover of $1,750, roughly. So definitely get a play in on that, because that's one that could pay very handsomely if if Banker Volo doesn't win.
We'll be tomorrow. It's curious because you have all these big harness races and stuff tomorrow. It is curious to see what kind of handle Aces has, and it might be worth taking a shot to pick 5 tomorrow just because you have that 7,000. You might have a chance to be the only ticket. Maybe me and Rod have to talk about that off the air.
Yeah.
Maybe put a ticket in. So.
And speaking of that, anybody watching that wants to play a ticket but maybe can't afford to play a ticket on their own, split it with somebody. If you want to split it with me or Mike, let us know. We might split with you.
Yeah. We're always doing stuff like that. I mean, once in a while we'll do that.
Yeah.
You do that with your buddies or whatever,
Yeah.
Take a shot.
Split it with your mom, split it with your best friend, split it with us.
I mean, I'm not like a huge fan of these jackpot bets necessarily, because the takeout's ridiculous, but I am a fan of them whenever they carry over to the point where they have mandatory payouts and stuff like that. I mean, that's pretty much a no-brainer. But, I am a fan of Aces, and you have that big, that pot to play, where you could get the only ticket and cash for 10,000,
Oh,
you only have to beat the guys that are in it.
Yeah, and by the way, I wanted to say the other night, because I don't think you knew, Mike, there was, what night was that we both caught? Was that Sunday?
Yeah.
Sunday night, we both caught the pick 5, and we gave it out on NAHUpicks.com, by the way.
Yeah, and so did Ray, actually, too.
Yeah.
So.
And of the tickets, Mike and I, we both played our ticket, both hit for just over $100, and we were 2 of the 5 tickets.
Yeah.
That paid.
So, and it wasn't like, and we gave out, all 3 of us had tickets on the website for under, I think mine was 24, yours was right around in there.
Mine was $21.60.
There was only 5 tickets that were sold. So, I mean, and honestly, if it could have broke one way or the other, we might have had it all.
Yeah.
Because we actually do punch our tickets. I mean, imagine that.
Punch the tickets, people.
Well, the thing is, I'm not going to put out tickets that I'm not going to be playing myself. That's just how I look at it. I'm not, like putting out a $10 ticket and then trying to play $50 tickets. If I put a $50 ticket on the website, that means I'm putting a $50 ticket through the window. If I put a $10 ticket on the website, I'm putting a $10 ticket through the window. That's how we do it. I know that's how Rod does it. He punches his tickets. That's how we do it.
Those of you not watching the video feed, I just switched hats from my Ontario Sire Stakes hat to my Running Aces hat. Bang, bang. Because we're about to talk about Running Aces, and I got my my Minnesota Harness Racing Inc. t-shirt on tonight, repping Minnesota Harness Racing.
Oh, Can-Am's about to go, too, if you guys are interested in the Can-Am. Can-Am, I know we didn't talk about it on the show tonight, but Can-Am, I have a ticket posted on NAHUpicks.com. It's really pretty cheap. It's like $10 or something.
Chalky ticket.
I'm actually going to put it in right now, I think.
Mike's playing chalk.
Well, it's not that bad.
But, again, Sunday, race number 8 starts the late pick 4 at Running Aces. Races 8, 9, 10, and 11. 50-cent minimum, and you've got nothing but full fields of 9 and 10 every single race in this pick 4 sequence. This entire card for Sunday is stellar, and this is not a card I would be passing on. There's a lot of money to be made, good value throughout the entire night looking at this program. And by the way, you can get free programs over at runaces.com. They've got free programs on their website all the time for every single race card. So, starting with race number 8, 50 cent pick 4, as I get the Aces logo posted there. You got a field of 9 here. This is a non-winners of $3,000 last 4 starts, also eligible. Winners not more than 6 or 50,000 lifetime. And again, field of 9 here. Very, very good betting race if you ask me. Mike, start us off.
I was singled in the race. I like the 7. This horse was 2-1 last time against Fire Drake off a drop. Raced much better. Did a lot of work early and ended up getting passed late by a perfect trip Fire Drake. And no Fire Drake in here. A lot of numbers, 2,500 types in here. This is the next logical drop for this horse, and he's supposed to win here. I know he's 0 for 16. I don't really like these kinds at all. I really don't, but, still has won 38,000 this year, facing better. Just missed at Miami Valley on April 20th, going for numbers of 10,000. Those are fast races. This horse is supposed to win in this spot, and you get a driver switch, 3rd time Lasix. I would expect sub-even money and a fairly easy win.
Well, while I use that horse, I'm using others because, 1, he's 0 for 16, and 2, he got an easy front half there and still got beat last time.
But, that night, though, the front end was not as good as it,
Right. I'll agree with that. But I'm still not sold on him. So I'm going 3 deep here to start this pick 4. The 3 SB Angel in Disguise. I don't know what this guy was doing last week. He was like 15 lengths off the gate from the second tier. He just looked like he didn't know where he was going behind the gate. He ended up pulling like 4 deep around the last turn and made up a ton of ground, just got tired late. It was a ridiculous drive there. This horse, back on the gate now, should be closer to what we saw 3 back, where this horse won very easily. 2 starts back, this horse got pressed on the lead the whole way and just got caught late, got tired, went 1:53 and a piece. Is going to be close here and has early speed to make the lead and hopefully not get run down again. So I'm using that one. The 5, Skim the Top. This is another one that's been racing well, along with what you're staring at off of that good race last time. The 5, Skim the Top. He's definitely an off the pace type, needs a setup, but comes in off a very good start. Finished second, coming from off the pace against Jasmanian Devil, and he gets another good draw here. It's his second start over the surface for Don Harmon, and I think this horse, as long as he can find some cover in here, which he should be able to with a horse like Fox Valley Hoss, who's going to be pulling at some point. He's just got to be put in the right spot, and he's got a shot to pick him off late. And then, like I mentioned, the 7, what you're staring at. He's a use, not a single for me, but definite play here to start this pick 4. Race number 9 is the second leg of this late pick 4 for Sunday night at Running Aces, and this is the $20,000 North Metro Pace. Here you've got another full field of 9 with an extremely good betting race. I love this race here. But I stayed inside, starting with the 1 Annihilator. He gets a post shift. He doesn't really have a lot of gate speed, but he's shown that he can leave when he wants to. Has been working out some pretty decent trips recently and closing very strongly. His last 2 starts, won the Open 2 weeks ago, came back to finish second from way back. Now he gets the rail. He's going to be closer than what he has been. And, going for 20,000, I think Bobcat, you're up there. You're not going to get a better money driver than him, D. McGee. And D. McGee has been hot with the hottest barn in Minnesota right now, Edwin Quevedo. This horse is a must play for me, especially from the rail. He's got a big shot. The 2 SF Don't Tell on Me ships in from Northville. And if you look at some of these lines, this horse is going gigantic miles over there at Northville, winning by 4.5 and 53 and 4 at Northville. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's basically unheard of, going miles like that over there. And he's doing it first over. 3 wide, goes 3 wide down the backside. I mean, this horse is making moves and winning off the pace. He's leaving from post 7 and 2 moving to the front to win. And he's got some recency as well. He just raced on the 6th after a couple weeks off. He's 4 for 6 on the year. He's extremely sharp, and I think he's probably going to take some money. By the way, his lifetime mark right there at Running Aces. So he's one you got to have on your ticket. And I'm sticking to 2 deep here, trying to cut this portion of my ticket down because the last 2 races are wide open in my opinion. So Mike, where are you at here?
Agree, and I really can't say a whole lot more than you have on the 1 and the 2. I think that those are both auto uses. That 51 and 1 life mark for the 2 is extremely impressive, and draws perfect. And another thing to look at too is a lot of these horses in here aren't necessarily racing in the open. Like the 3 stepping up. The 5 had to step up last week. A lot of these horses are racing in these condition races, albeit good, but I'm going to also use the 9, who won at the Open last time. Now gets a driver switch, but this horse has won 3 of 5 so far this year. Needs to have a pace, to race into, but kicked 27 and 2 last time. Almost impossible to win like that at Aces. It was hindered by the draw, but you're going to get a price here, especially with this driver switch. But I don't think he can really mess it up. He can just sit, 1 punch, hope they go early, and, be live late. I'm 129 there.
I'm surprised you didn't use the 8 there, holding all the cards.
Well, I just those weren't really good fields that he was beating.
No, they weren't.
He's 1 to 9. He's supposed to freaking crush those races. Now, I just don't see how he gets the front in this race, and he's going to have a hard time. And that's why I think the closers are going to do well, because this horse is in the race, and I don't think he's going to get a whole lot of respect. He certainly hasn't beaten the 2 to the front. So,
yeah, I agree. Leg number 3 is race number 10. This is the fillies and mares. Non-winners of $1,500 last 4 starts. Also eligible $3,500 claimers. And here you get a field of 10. The 10 starts in the 2nd tier at Running Aces. That happens to be Awesome World. But, Mike, start us off here. Wide open betting race, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm 6 out of the 8, and I hate to do that. It's more for cost purposes. I probably would take
6 out of 10?
if I could. Or 6 out of 10, yeah. The 1, Frisky's Angel, this horse has raced okay the past couple, moves inside. It's going to be a price and could get a little bit of a setup. The 3, La Diva de Rosa, drops from numbers of 2,500, and this is the 3rd consecutive drop for this horse. Won 6 times last year, and really I'm mostly playing on the drop. The 6, Free Radical, this is Roland. Really terrible trip last time in a race where really had no chance. Won 7 times last year, I think is worth a use. The 8, American Dancer, another one that's dropping, that's had outside post, and you get Wiseman now. He's a definite use for me. The 9, Along Came Jane, another one dropping, another one getting a driver change, and all these horses getting those things have to be used. Then a 10 Awesome World woke up last time, and I can't believe this horse was 8-1 in that race. Gets the second tier, that won't hurt him, and actually probably will help him. He went 55-2 last time. Any similar repeat of that, the horse has a chance to win. So it was 1, 3, 6, and then 8, 9, and 10.
Well, we're a little bit similar here. The 3, La Diva de Rosa, like you said, gets another class drop to a level that she's more competitive against. But my only concern is she just has not been competitive since coming off Lasix. Maybe it's just me. I think she needs the Lasix. But the class drop makes her a definite use here. I almost threw the 1 Frisky's Angel on just because of the post switch, but I just don't feel that she's fast enough to win the race. She's going to have everything go her way. But with that said, she could beat me. I'm going to have to let her beat me for cost purposes. The 6, Free Radical, got away 10th in her latest and just had no shot from that spot. Paced home in 28 and change. Finished 6th, only got beat 3 lengths, and was like 4 deep coming off the last turn, which is hard to do, especially when you have the entire pack right there tightening up, turning for home. She should be closer. She doesn't really have much gate speed, so that is my only concern. She's got to get into the outer flow and have a decent outer flow to work with to be able to win the race. The 8, American Dancer. This is another one I think fits here. You get Steve Wiseman on the drive this week with the driver change from Brian Dejean. The post, obviously, the killer, but another one on a class drop. Not much early speed. So, again, the race is going to have to play into what's going to happen early because there's really no early speed here. Who's going to leave? Who's going to make that first move is going to be a big factor in this race. And honestly, I think it's going to be the 10 Awesome World. She made that early move last time, cleared down the backside, and held them off late. She's going to have to basically make that same move again from the second tier. Tim Mayer's just got to be able to get her started up, revved up early to clear, coming down the front stretch the first time. And if he does that, I think this mare is going to be extremely tough to beat once again. And she's coming in really good form, so I can't fault her for any of that, even from the second tier, which is a tough spot to start from. But we'll get into the final leg after this race at the Meadowlands, which we got a couple of minutes to post here.
That's a nice race. Explain to me, please, how Trolley is 19-1.
I don't know. There's some weird betting going on at the Meadowlands tonight.
Like Guardian Angel, okay, nice horse, but better 5/8 horse. Okay, I would rather have Pinkman, Trolley, the 6, even the 9 over the 5 in this race. I don't understand this.
Well, I mean the 5 is a definite use, but
at 3 to 5,
3 to 5 is too short.
Race, I just boxed 3, 4, 6 because you have to. That's where the value is to me.
See, I was on, in my pick 4 ticket, I just took the inside 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Jeez, okay.
Because the 1 and the 2 can get a setup to win this race. All of these horses are competitive against each other. They really are.
Yeah, I agree.
And the only reason...
I like the 6 the best in the race, but, just because the horse had absolutely no chance last time and won the Cutler off of a 6-month friggin' layoff. So, and he likes his track. But Trolley should never be 17. Good God.
Right. But, with the 9 Marion Marauder, the only reason I didn't use him is because he's coming off the layoff. It's his first start of the year from the 9 hole, which is tough. And, J.L. Cruz absolutely loves the Meadowlands, and he draws well. So, he's won. What is he, 25-1?
Yeah, that's way too much.
Yeah, 28-1 now. I mean, he's too high. He's definitely worth at least a couple bucks at that price.
But 3-5 on Guardian Angel, who, was 4-1 in the Cutler and got, and lost. Now, the horse loves 5-ace tracks, loves Pocono, and loves Philly. I mean, just crushes Philly. But not the same horse here. Can win, but not 3-5 can win.
No.
Not versus this group. No way. I mean, it's, just like that last race. Like, who's betting the 1 at 3-5? And he somehow, almost fell down. Like, I don't even know what happened there.
Normally I would say the horse was waiting on him, but not when the horse draws away by 3 and then all of a sudden just hits a brick wall like that. I mean, that was brutal. That horse was crawling across the wire.
Yeah.
But they are going to the gate for race number 10 at the Meadowlands. I'm live to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in my pick 4. Mike, are you still live or no?
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 6.
3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go, race number 10, leg 3 of the pick 4.
3-5 here on the 5, Guardian Angel, fresh out that decisive score in the Maxi Lee. Tim Tetrick looking for his 4th tonight, 7-2 action on the 6th. Cruzado de la Noche, the Cutler Memorial winner. This is the 3rd leg of the Mr. Muscleman series for $40,000. 2nd leg of the Can-Am pick 4. Here they come. Off and trotting, Cruzado de la Noche and Guardian Angel. And now Pinkman shoots out with his speed. Dexter Dunn plants Pinkman right to the front here as Jail Cruz cuts the corner into 2nd. And Yes Mickey is right there 3rd. Around the first turn, Trolley going up now 3rd and gaining quickly for Andy Miller looking for the lead. Guardian Angel, Oz already back to 5th on the inside. Then it's Cruzado de la Noche, followed by Pappy Go-Go and New Heaven and Marion Marauder in his seasonal debut trails. Trolley took over past the quarter, 27-3. Trolley out of 2nd. Pinkman, a give and go right back to the top goes Pinkman. Trolley 2nd. And Jail Cruz tightens in from 3rd as the pace slows across the backstretch. Yes Mickey 4th staying in. Guardian Angel, Oz to the outside. Cruzado de la Noche to follow him. Gapping his cover, but inching up. And Pappy Go-Go underway from the back following that live blow. Followed by New Heaven and Marion Marauder at the half. Guardian Angel is going to take over here, the Maxi Lee winner with Tim Tetrick. And he takes charge with authority past the half in just 57-1. So tactical advantage here for Guardian Angel. Oz in front by 3/4, half a length. Cruzado de la Noche and Brian Sears right there threatening on the outside as Pinkman gaps the pocket spot. And J.L. Cruz on the outside. It is Pappy Go-Go now. Pappy Go-Go all set to come 3 wide, and he's tracked intently by Yes Mickey in that outer flow, and a shuffle here for Trolley as they turn home. 3/4, 125 and 2. Cruzado de la Noche trying to keep it going first over, but it's Guardian Angel. Oz digging in. Pinkman trying to squeeze on through, and Cruzado de la Noche finds another gear on the outside, but it's still Guardian Angel. Oz guarding the lead. Guardian Angel, Oz. Cruzado de la Noche can't get to him. Guardian Angel, Oz. A grand slam for Tim Tetrick. Then Cruzado de la Noche, Pinkman, and Jail Cruz in 152-1.
Well, what do I know? 1-2 on that horse.
Well, 1-2 was pretty short there, but that horse isn't playing 1-2 in the pick 4.
I don't know. The 6 was huge in the race, but I don't understand. What blows my mind is you get these top horses, and somehow they get a 58 opening half. Like, how is that possible?
I don't know what they're doing at the Meadowlands.
And so the guys that are sitting back behind, they have to know that they have absolutely no chance in the race. None. Like, if you're going to let them go like that up front, you might as well just wait for next week.
Yeah.
Because, then they go 1, 2, 3 around the racetrack because they went 57-1 to the half. With horses that can go, 55. I mean, it's just crazy. How are you making up any ground on that in that back half?
You're not.
You're not. So, they come home 55. So, meaning you have to come home sub 55 to make up any ground. You ain't.
I agree.
Jesus.
Short price there. But where you're not going to see a short price is in the final race on Sunday night at Running Aces. Another wide open betting event. Now there's a 1,500 last four. We're closing out the pick four, closing out the weekend at Running Aces Sunday night. And here, another full field of 10. The 10 starts from the second tier. And Mike, start us off here in the last leg. What do you like?
So 4 deep in the last, and I like some prices. The one, Dream Chasing. This horse moves inside after a couple terrible posts and a drop. Raced against To the Limit last time. And this horse hasn't really done much this year, but won 7 times last year and almost, 55,000. And that's what I'm kind of going with. Just the fact that the horse is moving inside and at a bottom level, could wake up at any point. So I'll use that one. The 4 Blue Star Maverick is obvious. Drops from $1 to 2,500 where the horse, race fairly well. You get Wiseman here back to the proper level. Is fast enough, I think, to beat these. The 5 2 Mickey Trip lost to the Limit last time. Who was 2 to 5 in that race, Rod? Something like that.
Yeah.
You get Rollins here for an 18% barn. Middle of the gate, probably going to be pretty decent in the race. And then the 8 Giggle Monster, another one that drops. Really hasn't been racing all that well, but raced well last year. The line 3 back fits for sure. That Johnny Gunn and this horse's face, the Jasmanian Devil, all horses that would be 1 to 5 in this race. 1, 4, 5, 8.
We're not too far apart here. I don't use the 1, but the 4 Blue Star Maverick I think is a must-use on the class drop. Now, I'm cautious about him because he just has not been any good at all. I thought the half that he got last week he would win, but then he gassed the third quarter and just kind of walked home after that. I don't know what he was doing that third quarter. Like there was nobody even close to him at the 3/4 pole, but the horse just got tired late. I think you see a different tactic Sunday night with Steve Wiseman driving again. He's one you got to play, but definitely not a single the way he's been racing. The 5 2 Mickey Trip, last week he looked like he was absolutely loaded and just wouldn't go by. This horse does hang quite often, but I think if he's on the lead, you won't see that from him. And I do think Nick Rowland fires right to the top in this race. And as long as he doesn't get stuck behind a horse like Yeah You Betcha, then he's got a shot to win this race on the lead. He's got to be on the lead if he wants to win, I think. Next one I use is the 6 I'm a Tank with Tony Succarati. Second time he's driving this horse. Last week had no prayer, coming from dead last. Raced pretty well there, actually. And that was a race that To the Limit ended up winning, which we talked about was a huge chalk in that race. And, this one just needs to be closer than what he was last time. You get a little bit of post improvement, and I think he's going to be in a nice spot following Blue Star Maverick if Wiseman doesn't fire with him. Even if he does, I think he's going to be following Torrington, who's okay one to follow as well, as long as he stays on gate. And then the 8 Giggle Monster, I think is pretty obvious here. Another one on a class drop. And, the post is the killer, but Mooney Swenson jumps on to drive for Justin Anfinson. This is a horse that's kind of underperformed this season, I think, compared to what he was doing last season. But he's due to wake up, especially on this class drop, and he needs to be respected, even from the outside post. 5-time winner last year, 12 of 34 lifetime. So with this class relief, he's a must-play for me. So my late pick 4 ticket for Sunday night at Running Aces for 50 cents goes as follows. 357 with 1-2 with 3-6-8-10 with 4-5-6-8. It's $48 for 50 cents. Mike, give it.
7 with 1, 2, 9 with 1, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10 with 1, 4, 5, 8. It's 36 for 50 cents.
And by the way, we also have pick 4 tickets for the All Stakes pick 4 for tomorrow night at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Do you have yours available?
Yeah.
Okay, my ticket for 20 cents is
Now this is race 9 tomorrow.
Race 9 at Woodbine Mohawk Park tomorrow. $100,000 guaranteed pick 4. 2-3 with 1-3-4-7 with 1-2-3-4-8 with 4. It's $8 for 20 cents.
Mine is 235 with 1-3-4-9 with 238 with 234. It's 21.60. It could pay not that for $1. It could be very good depending on what wins there. If you get one of those big chalks beat, you'll be okay.
Yeah, I think the front leg and the back leg are the keys.
Yeah.
If you're going to try to beat one of them.
I mean, you could make that ticket a lot cheaper, really, but I don't know. I mean, it's a big night. You're going to have big pulls. If you get any kind of upsets, you're going to get a decent return on that ticket.
Absolutely. And as always, we've got coverage tomorrow night at Running Aces. 8 race card tomorrow night with all those carryovers. Quick reminder for tomorrow night at Aces. Pick 5 carryover, jackpot pick 5 carryover, $7,005. Early pick 4 carryover, $2,021. 50-cent high 5. It's not a jackpot bet. Carryover, $1,750-ish. We've also got... Ish, yes. We've also got free full card analysis for tomorrow. Running Aces, Woodbine Mohawk Park, and the Meadowlands. Tickets will be posted all day tomorrow for the All Stakes Pick 4 at Woodbine Mohawk Park. Catch all of the analysis at NAHUpicks.com. Every live race day from those 3 racetracks. It's up there. It's posted. If you catch something, tag us on Twitter. Tag us on Facebook. Say what up. Bang, bang. Whatever you want to say. If you lose because of us, it wasn't actually because of us. Till next week, I've been Rod Adams Jr. That's Mike Probozzi. Ray Cotolo at Woodbine Mohawk Park. We will see you next week. Bang, bang.